Welcome back to Mr. Incredible News. Prepare yourself for a collection of incredible moments caught on camera that turned ordinary days into unforgettable stories. Blink, and you might miss something extraordinary. Crane accidents are rarely caused by a single mistake. They're usually the result of several small failures happening at the same time, such as poor ground support, incorrect rigging, and overloading the crane. Articulated dump trucks are designed for rough terrain, but that doesn't make them immune to rollovers. Stability can disappear in seconds if the weight shifts too far to one side. At least it stayed inside the ship instead of ending up in the ocean. And this is a good reminder. Never stand under a suspended load. Oversized transport isn't about speed, it's about absolute precision. This giant convoy carrying a 7-meter drying tower inches its way through Ruffiac, where even small obstacles become major challenges. Watching these drivers maneuver such a massive load is both nerve-wracking and fascinating. The best news in this whole story is that nobody was standing under there. A shockwave powerful enough to knock snow off buildings.
Включен режим город 2.
If an entire mountain starts joining your commute, your day has officially taken an unexpected turn. Backing a 220,000-pound rotor out of a power plant is far more than a driving exercise. Riding on a dual-lane steerable multi-axle trailer, every inch of movement must be perfectly synchronized. One wrong angle could place enormous stress on the load, making precision the most important tool in the entire operation. most disasters aren't caused by one giant mistake. They're usually a dozen small shortcuts arriving at the same place at the same time.
Seriously? Please don't upload that.
There are two kinds of people after watching this. One will burst out laughing, and the other will feel bad for the guy. Which one are you?
You're gonna upload that, aren't you?
Yes.
You know that.
There may have been trapped water in the waste area. That's called a steam explosion. An 18-wheeler attempting a U-turn in the middle of a highway is a risky move from the start. With limited turning space and a massive trailer behind it, the truck quickly becomes trapped. Fortunately, a local passerby arrives with a tractor, turning a frustrating situation into an impressive display of teamwork. I was expecting a huge crash, but honestly, I'm just happy it turned into a miracle save instead. People celebrate when nobody gets hurt, and that's absolutely a good thing. But the work shouldn't stop there. A near miss is basically an accident that decided to be merciful this time. Parking a trailer in an extremely tight space is one of the toughest skills in heavy transport. A bicycle and an articulated truck should never be fighting over the same piece of road. Blind spots are real, and they don't care who's technically at fault. It might be running perfectly for 10 hours straight, but all it takes is one misroll, and suddenly thousands of pounds of steel have a mind of their own. A 90-ton load transforms an ordinary road into a high-precision operation. With Volvo and Mercedes working together, every movement becomes a demonstration of engineering strength and professional driving skill. This is heavy-haul transport where patience matters just as much as horsepower.
Stop! No!
Trying to unload 100 tons of steel with 3 forklifts, what could possibly go wrong? In Yemen's towering mountains, a 23-meter-long truck faces challenges that would stop most vehicles instantly. Narrow roads, steep grades, and unforgiving terrain turn every kilometer into a test of skill. Here, professional drivers rely on patience, precision, and experience to conquer some of the toughest routes on Earth. This is exactly why stores have loading docks, where trucks can back in and line up with the floor level. That's literally what those bench racks were built for. What always amazes me is how quickly an ordinary day can turn into a huge inconvenience for an entire intersection. Every movement showcases the perfect balance between power, technology, and operator skill.
Кран надо, по-моему, по-другому хер тут что сделаешь.
Heavy machinery leaves very little room for mistakes. Experience and attention to detail are essential, because being careless can become extremely costly. One thing experience teaches you is that not every road is designed to forgive mistakes. If there isn't enough room to make a U-turn, there isn't enough room, period. Heavy trucks don't magically create extra space because you're in a hurry. This plane actually flew once upon a time. Deep in the hills of Durango, a heavily loaded truck battles steep grades and unforgiving terrain. Anyone who drives a lift truck long enough will probably hit something at some point. Some people are simply more fortunate than others. I've seen plenty of impressive things in nature, but water has always been the one thing I refuse to underestimate. It can look calm for hours, and then suddenly arrive with enough force to completely change the situation in seconds. truck, a highway, and high winds are a combination that demands respect every single time.
Vai, bicho. Vai, nasa. Nasa baby. Vai, bicho. Sino pra cá.
Even a legendary Maz 537 can meet its match when nature takes over. Following Kiev's extreme snowfall, the heavy tractor hauling a Bat-2 road layer became trapped on an icy street. This moment proves that winter can challenge even some of the toughest military transport machines ever built.
Jesus, no, oh my God, Lord, Jesus Christ,
Watching this from a dash cam is unsettling because there was absolutely no warning.
relax.
At 5,600 tons and 160 meters long, the RK5000 isn't just an excavator, it's a moving industrial giant. After decades of service, this bucket chain excavator slowly leaves the lignite mine for its parking site. With a capacity of 4,450 cubic meters per hour, it stands as one of the most impressive mining machines ever built. I've learned over the years that buildings usually whisper before they scream. Cracks, loose materials, strange noises, they rarely fail without warning. The real tragedy is when people ignore those warnings for years, until luck finally runs out. There's no way that wasn't intentional. It was definitely looking for trouble. This is exactly why hard hats are so important. It may have saved his life. People often think these compact machines are harmless because they're smaller than bulldozers, but that's exactly where trouble starts. Anybody can drive on dry pavement, but keeping a heavy vehicle moving safely through terrain like this takes patience, judgment, and a whole lot of humility.
Oh, gado!
What started as smoke coming from a tax office quickly escalated into a massive multi-alarm fire. Within minutes, flames tore through the roof and spread to neighboring buildings. Nearly 300 firefighters launched an aggressive attack that lasted 7 hours, battling intense heat, collapsing conditions, and rapidly changing dangers. Thanks for watching Mr. Incredible News. More unbelievable moments are waiting just around the corner, so subscribe and turn on notifications. Until next time, keep your eyes open, because anything can happen.